Up till now we have covered A, B, C, D, that is A for Atma soul, B for Baba Supreme Soul, C for connection, that is Raj Yoga, D for drama, E for evaluation or evolution of the human mankind, and yesterday we see the basis of Raj Yoga. Today we are going to see how Supreme Being incarnates. So you can see the picture, whose physical name was Dada Lekhraj, who was a Sindhi guy and diamond merchant. So if we start from his birth, you can say Dada Lekhraj was born in 1876, Hyderabad, Sindh, now in Pakistan. He was from the Kriplani family, Vallabhachari devotees, Pakka devotees of the Vishnu, firm devotees. His father was a headmaster in the school of Sindh, Hyderabad. He lost his mother and father in childhood and when he was studying in the school, and his elder brother was doing a business of the grain. So he joined as a wheat merchant to his brother after death of his father. In those days, the situation of Sindh, Hyderabad was like this. All the male who are, you can say, matured and young, they were going outside of Sindh, Hyderabad to the various parts of Bharat. At that time, it is a talk about 1900. So, all the youth people, young people, they will go for earning the livelihood, various parts of Bharat. They all being Sindhis, they were doing trading business all over Bharat and foreign lands. Malaysia, South Africa, so many, you can say, foreign countries. Some people were there also. Majority were doing in business in Bharat because Bharat was the richest place in the world. Even Europeans and all Muslim invaders came to Bharat to take the wealth only, nothing else. Vasco da Gama also wanted to come to Bharat or India, but by mistake he gone to the North America continent. Otherwise, he traveled to look for the Bharat. Same way, all European people came before 200 years in Bharat for doing a business, doing a trading business. Because Bharat was the hub for everything. So in 1900 around, it was the kingdom of, you can say, Europeans. Kings and queens were there in Bharat in different parts of the country, but main, you can say, ruling authority was, you can say, Queen Victoria. And under her, under the leadership of Queen, or can say leadership of European people, Bharat was governed in those days, was ruled. And it was the richest country. Why we say richest country? Because during the partition even, 1947, 1 rupees was, you can say, costlier than even pound. Forget about the dollar. 1 rupees was around 3 pounds. And see the condition of exchange rate right now against even dollar. Forget about the pound again. So, in those days, all these Sindhis were doing business in various parts of Bharat mainly. So, everybody will help each other to have a, you can say, some kind of repo with the customers through their community. So, somebody from Dada's family, Dada means elder brother, that is Dada Lekhraj's family, they were in Bombay, that is Mumbai. They were doing some, you can say, diamond business, diamond merchant they were. So they were relatives of Dada. So Dada was a very young guy, around, you can say, 18 to 20 years old. He wanted to go with them. Being a family members, each were supporting each other. So they have taken Dada to Mumbai around, you can say, 1900s. Dada was very young guy. But he was being a firm devotee of Vishnu. He was always reading Gita regularly. And the sanskars of renunciation was there. So he was thinking, being a Sindhi, that he will earn in those days 100 rupees. At that time, that was very expensive. And he will put the, you can say, money on interest, and he will earn the livelihood from that interest. Though he will be a sannyasi, he don't want to beg from anybody. So his thinking was quite, you can say, encouraging. He was respecting too much to the sisters and mothers. If we read his biography, what we have posted in the group yesterday, then you can find that he saw one movie in Mumbai. At that time, movie was only movie, no voice was there. Name of the movie was Roop Sundari. And his whole idea changes from renunciator, that is sannyasi, to the sansari, that is householder. And he got married also. He was gone there as an employee of their, you can say, relatives' firm, and slowly and gradually, because of his honesty and discrimination power, discern power, to judge the diamonds and gold, he was promoted. First promoted to from, you can say, lower level employee to the higher level employee, and then he was given a charge of the manager of the whole store in Bombay. And he was very, very royal, so royal and loyal. So his owner told to be a partner, because all were from the same families in the family. And one day he proposed to his owner, his partner now, that can he start a new showroom. All were relatives, so his owner was agreed very, you can say, easily and with a pleasing manner, telling that if you want any help, he can give the help also. And he started first showroom of diamond jewelry in Calcutta. Why Calcutta? Because Calcutta was in those days hub for the Indian trades. At that time, Bombay was like a small village. So he established his first room in first, you can say, showroom in Mumbai. Then he expand his business to Hyderabad, Calcutta, and various parts of Bharat. And he was becoming rich like anything because of his, you can say, accuracy and acumenship of doing the business. And his clients, who were the clients who will purchase the gold and jewelry, you can say English European people and kings and queens. So his clienteles were very, very royal. So see the picture of Dada Lekhraj. He was in those days like this. He has two daughters and two sons. Three were married. Only one youngest son, that his name was Narayan. He was only bachelor. And he was very, very famous now because he was very successful businessman in India and in his community. Being a, you can say, very, very religious person, he was a great donor in the society where so many, say, where their showrooms are there, and in his society too. So people were knowing him in detail or very well because he was a great donor in his community as well as where he has a showroom. Very, very generous guy because very rich too. And now he was proceeding to the age of retirement around 60. So he was thinking that I will retire. But the earning was too much. So he thought that let me have go ahead for some time and then I will retire. His business was so established, well managed. So no need to worry anything. All two partners were there. One was handling administration and finance from Calcutta, and the other Lekhraj was doing all the marketing job and, you can say, contacting clients. So now Dada was very, very, you can say, surrendered to the devotion. He was believing in Vishnu too much. And when he was showing a picture of Vishnu, where Lakshmi ji is massaging the feet of Vishnu, so what he did, he called the painter and told that relieve Lakshmi ji, because massaging is not being done by a partner of the Narayan. It can be done even by a servant. So he was very, very, you can say, progressive, or very, very, you can say, revolutionary thoughts for the mothers and sisters. He was always giving too much respect to the sisters and mothers. So around 60, what he was doing, he was giving a too much donation, calling different gurus, and meanwhile he has 12 gurus from, you can say, different time to time, because if he is not satisfied with one guru, he will continue with that guru and make other guru too, and he was giving lot of money to gurus. Every weekend, or you can say every month, he will have a satsang where he is for the business. So one day he was for his business in Mumbai. He called his guru for the satsang in his own bungalow. Everywhere where there is, you can say, his showroom, he has their own bungalows also in each cities. Very rich guy in those days. Still Baba said he is common man, because Baba is always comparing the present worth, present wealth with the future status of deity. So it is nothing as compared to deities. So after satsang of the guru in Mumbai, he gone to his room and he immediately got the vision of Vishnu, because he was a strong devotee, firm devotee of Vishnu. And he was so much happy that, oh, he got the fruit of his devotion. So he was very much, you can say, involved in devotion and in vision. Meanwhile, he heard one noise from Vishnu. He says, Tatatvam, means I am a Vishnu, you are also Vishnu. And Dada was very intelligent guy. Immediately he came down by thinking, how I can be a Vishnu? He is my God. I am his devotee. I cannot be a God. So Guruji was in his bungalow only in another room. So he went to Guru and asked him and thanks him that he given a vision to him. But Guru was very, very honest. So he told, vision can be given only by the Supreme Father, not by any Guru. It is beyond the capacity of any human being. Then he asked the second question, why Vishnu told me Tatatvam, means who am I, same you are. Guru told that, okay, he is not very clear with the meaning, but whomever has given a vision to you, he will clarify to you, but for that you go in solitude. So next day morning, he wake up and made a telegram to his partner in Calcutta that I am going on vacation for 1 month, because he wanted to have a solitude as per the direction of his guru. And he told to his partner, don't worry anything. All our family members are doing the business. They all are the, you can say, employees and partners. So don't worry. They are well trained. All the managers in various cities. So don't worry about anything. Business will go as usual. So he, you can say, made himself, you can say, totally separate from the society for about 1 month. And now he was doing, you can say, intense devotion. After about 20 days, he got a 3 vision, what we are seeing in the picture, but he was not knowing at that time who he is giving the vision, why he is getting the vision. He was not knowing. He was following the direction of his gurus only, nothing else. So he was making a practice of Gita, because he was always reading one chapter of Gita each day without fail. Even he is the train, he will never eat or even drink a water without one chapter of Gita to read and try to understand. So he was very much concerned about the soul consciousness. He was writing in the books, even on the walls, that I am a soul, which are very clear in Gita from 1 to 6 chapter. His wife was name was Jashoda, so writing Jashoda, he is a soul. His son's name was Narayan, so he was writing Narayan, he is a soul. His son's wife, that is his daughter-in-law, name was Radhe, so he was writing Radhe, he is a soul. So soul, and he was becoming, by making a practice, more and more soul conscious. And at the end, about 20 days, he got a vision. When one vision, he saw the severe destruction of the world, what we seen in the picture. Western world, this is the talk about 35. At that time, nobody from the world was knowing what is atom bomb. So he was given a vision that Western world will be transformed or destructed with the help of atom bomb, hydrogen bomb and missiles. Nobody was knowing in the world at that time. World came to know about atom bomb, hydrogen bomb, that is only baby bomb, on 6th and 9th August 1945 when States has dropped first two baby bombs on Japan on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now 1945 to 1920, almost 75 years, still there is effect of that baby bombs on nature and human being. Still many children are taking a birth handicap there. That much was the effect of that bomb. That was a baby bomb. Now we have refined bombs. Even India and Pakistan, if they fight, you can say atomic war, then they can devastate the whole world. That much capacity now science has. But Godfather's plan is always different than what human beings' plan is there. So he saw in vision a great destruction. Even up to that level that nobody was ready to do the final cremation for the persons who are dead. So dead body was moving here and there. And he was crying. He told God, stop it, I can't see it. And he was too much, you can say, disturbed by this thing, this kind of turmoil in the world. He was simply crying, oh God, what is going to be happen? And he was now come in consciousness because he was crying. So he was sitting there only for some time and he got the another vision. That was a vision of the Supreme Abode, but he was not knowing at that time that this is the Supreme Abode. After that, Godfather entered in his body and he clarified everything through his body. He was not knowing at that time when he was given a vision. And third vision was that slowly and gradually, one after the another soul is coming down as descending to the world, and they are becoming prince and princesses. And he saw that whole heaven, paradise, Swarg, Bahis was created on this world. He saw in the vision. All were playing a ras, you can say garbas and ras. All were wearing a dress of Lakshmi and Narayan. All deities are moving in Pushpak Vimans, that is Pushpak planes. And there was a complete balance of, you can say, science and silence. Everything was running on thought power. No need to put on a switch even. That was the glory of, you can say, science, but complete under control of the silence power, that is called yoga power, of the human being, that is deities or angels. So he was very much pleased by seeing that vision. But he heard one noise that this kind of world is to be created by you. Immediately he was very, you can say, great thought, you can say, making person, great revolutionary person. He immediately come down and thinking, how can I make this thing? I am a common human being. I can't do this thing. Only God can transform the world. I cannot. So he come down. But now, after seeing the, you can say, destruction on a big way, he has total renunciation from this world and he decided to retire from the business. What was thinking before few days? Immediately on the next day, he put a telegram to his partner that I am coming to Calcutta. Call the lawyer, prepare the papers, and I will sign it. That's it. I don't want to do business now. I have a lot of money. I can survive very easily with my family. He gone to Calcutta. Meanwhile, he got a telegram from one of his uncle who was running a Sadavrat. Sadavrat means the people are giving free food, and he was a great donor in that Sadavrat too. And he promised to his uncle that he will continue his Sadavrat after his death. And he got a telegram in Calcutta that the condition of his uncle is bad, so he should go to the Hyderabad. And he was ready to go. Meanwhile, he got one vision how the soul of his uncle, name was Mulchand, leaving his body by, you can say, revolving in whole body. because he was becoming more and more soul conscious by studying Gita, practicing the words of the Gita, and getting the visions from the Supreme Godfather. Now he gone to his Sindh, Hyderabad, where he started satsang with the help of his gurus, and if guru is not available, he will read a Gita. So one day one guru came in Sindh, Hyderabad. He has at that time 3 bungalows, 2 cars. Cars were starting with the handles, not with the battery, was not there in those days. And 1 minibus. So he was a rich guy. No worries about how to get the money or from where to arrange everything. So he started satsang, and many gurus were coming to his home to discourse for giving a discourse, and people were reading Gita and listening the Gita. So satsang was there, and people were coming, you can say slowly and gradually increase 20, 30, 50, 80, hundreds. And majority were sisters and mothers because majority young guys, they were go different parts of the country and world to do the business. So all family will be there. So majority were brother, you can say mothers and sisters. Brothers were there but limited. And elder, you can say who are retired. Very few young guys were there. So satsang started at his home with the help of his gurus and as well as with whom? With himself only. He was reading the Gita. One day one guru came to his home and he was listening the Gita, and meanwhile he got some uneasiness, so he gone to the other room, and after 5-10 minutes he didn't return. So his wife Jashoda and his daughter-in-law Radhe both went on in bungalow where Dada has gone. Because when Guru is giving a discourse and somebody leaving, it is a disrespect of the Guru. So they found that Dada is sitting one of the room, both gone there. So Mataji means Jashoda told to his daughter-in-law that Radhe, you take out Dada with you, and I am going back. If suppose everybody is out of the family from the satsang, people will believe it is a disrespect to the Guru. So if mother gone back and daughter-in-law Radhe was there, he was entered in the room where Dada was sitting. And what he saw there? He saw that Dada was, you can say, completely covered with the red light. So she was sitting and he felt too much peace in that room. And after some time, Dada was murmuring something and she listened the voice that Nijananda Swarupam Shivoham Shivoham, Jnana Swarupam Shivoham Shivoham, Prakash Swarupam Shivoham Shivoham. And after some time, 5-10 minutes, Dada came down because his eyes was closed, only he was speaking some words. And when Dada came down, he opened his eye and see that his daughter-in-law is Radhe sitting there. So immediately asked the question to Radhe. My dear daughter, what do you see in me? I feel that some soul is coming in me and uttering some words through my mouth. And she clarified that this is the word. Then he realized that some other soul, supreme soul is coming in me, and he wanted to use my body to speak. That's it. Then he realized now that something is happening that is not me by somebody else. And now what is happening? When he was, you can say, reading a Gita, automatically that soul, supreme soul, enter in him and do a Om Dhvani in the beginning, and that Gita will be left, you can say, side, and the supreme soul will speak through his body the knowledge. Initially, supreme soul only did the, you can say, visions to different people who were coming in the satsang. So people were getting visions who are, you can say, not known who Dada is. They were knowing only Dada is a very renowned person in their community. So by hearing that everybody who believe in God, some deities, if they go to Dada satsang, they will get a vision of their own deity. Somebody believe in Krishna, they will get a vision of Krishna. Somebody believe in Allah, they will go into the satsang and got a vision of Allah. Somebody believe in Amba, they will go and get a vision of Amba. So it was a very, you can say, fast way the talk was moved in whole city, that if you wanted to have a vision, go to Dada Satsang. And number of Dada Satsang increased from around, you can say, 100 to 300. And one day what happened, you can see the picture of this young lady whose name was Om Radhe. Miss Radhe, her Laukik name was Radhe. Her parents were living in Mumbai. They were Sindhis, they were doing the business of insurance. And her father has a great loss in the business, and due to loss, heart attack, and he left the body, and everything of his gone in, you can say, bankruptcy. So they don't have anything to live in Bombay. She has completed her, you can say, SSC in convent school and was just getting, you can say, admission in the college. But now, no choice except to go her, you can say, maternal uncle's house. In those days, who become a widow, means her mother become a widow. Very bad, you can say, custom and system was there in Hinduism. They can't talk too much. They can't wear good clothes. They can't put a, you can say, tilak on their heads. So many restrictions were there because her mother was a young lady and she was under too much pain and sorrow. They came to the Sindh Hyderabad and somebody advised that why you don't go to the Baba Satsang to get a peace. And her mother gone to the satsang and they all believing in Krishna. And her mother get a vision of Krishna and he got a too much peace after the vision. So when come back to the home, her daughter was highly educated. She asked a question to her mother, where did you go? And what happened to you so that you are so quiet, so peaceful, otherwise always crying? So she told the story and she told that, okay, I wanted to come tomorrow. Both next day gone to Dada's satsang, and when this young lady, Radhe, came to Baba, she was believing in Krishna and she got a vision of Krishna. Now, Dada is not working through Dada, Supreme Soul is working now. So Supreme Soul advised Dada to surrender everything what he has to make a Om Mandali, because satsang was started in the beginning with Om Dhvani, Om, what we are doing. And then people were getting the vision. So one Mandali was created. The name of the Mandali was given Om Mandali name. And Dada surrendered all his property by making a will, official will, that I, Dada Lekharaj, surrendering all my movable, immovable property to this Om Mandali, and Om Mandali will be headed by Om Radhe, whose picture she was around 17, 18 years old, young Kumari. Godfather has put a, you can say, one of the knowledge on the mothers. There were 8 members of the Om Mandali, 4 were mothers and 4 were Kumaris. Even Brahma, Miss Dada Lekharaj, who surrendered everything, was not a member of that Mandali, though Supreme Godfather was working through his body. And after seeing that Dada has surrendered everything, other 5 families were there who also surrendered whole their property, and one Om Mandali was registered. And in those days, it came in Times magazine, publishing from the London, that Om Mandali is the richest Mandali in the world, because rupees was quite heavy as compared to even a pound. And Supreme Godfather started working through this Om Mandali through the body of Dada. You may surprise, you may have a doubt, but when you listen a Murli, when you can say, see the what Baba told in the 1935-36 exactly goes true word by word what Baba told. It was not a Dada who was telling this. Dada was a student like us, and he transformed his life from 1935-36 to 1969, 33 years. He did the efforts to be a soul conscious. So Godfather has no body. So somebody may ask the Godfather that you don't know what is the experience of world. So he created two examples. One example of male, that is Dada. Another example of female, that is Om Radhe. We call it as a Mamma in the Yagya. Yagya means transformation, nothing else. So no man can say I can't do, no woman say I can't do, because two samples Supreme Godfather created, who followed Supreme Godfather completely and make their life perfect and complete in this world. And they were not sannyasi, they were living with 400 people for 14 years together. So it was a big family. Even we have 4 members in our family, and we 2 people are earning. Still, it is very difficult to continue our household by earning. There is so much tussle, so many disagreements, and these were 400 people, not only one or two. Family was same, Sindhi family, but everybody has a different blood group, different sanskars. And Supreme Godfather continued 1935 to 50 in Karachi, in Sindh, Hyderabad and Karachi. And they made a tapasya for 14 years. So now official you can say Om only started, and now they have you can say about 80 you can say children who are age of 9 to 13 and 13 to 18. So they started 2 hostels, what you can see now in the picture like this. And they were giving a worldly education too, not only that spiritual education by Supreme Godfather. Worldly education they will be taught for the you can say all sewing machine, this thing and that thing, so that they will be independent at any time when they want. And you can see the timetable how they are doing. And not only that, they will train like this Shiv Shakti, because Godfather has a plan to establish an institution which has a worldwide presence. Now Brahma Kumaris have 9,500 centers in 140 countries. It is the biggest organization led by the ladies, mothers and sisters in the world level, at the international or global level. So Godfather established a base in 1935-36 through the body of Dada, and he started his work. He prepared all these sisters and mothers who are now heading. As for example, now Chief of Brahma Kumar is Dadi Hriday Mohini. She was at that time 9 years old. Dadi, you can say, Janki, he left the body at the age of 104 on 27th March 2020, just recently before a month or two, 1.5 months. She was at that time the oldest, that was the 20 years old. She was a nurse at that time. So, Godfather established the, you can say, institution which can transform the world through different thoughts. And there was a revolution in thoughts only, nothing else. And now what happened? Supreme Godfather was preaching through Dada to have a pure food, meditation, what we covered in the lesson. So opposition started from their own family, and Mukhi Mandaram, who was the head of that, you can say, Sindh, Hyderabad, as an anti-Om only. He met the Dada because Dada was very renowned person in his society, and told Dada that you are doing very good, you can say, work, very good spiritual, you can say, service, but don't tell people about pure food, this thing and that thing, because all Sindhis were spread all over, you can say, world, particularly in Bharat, because Bharat was the richest part in those days. So he told that don't preach like this, but Baba told, I am not preaching. Somebody is coming in my body and he is preaching, and I am following that preaching. How can I not say to the children of him? But they were seeing only Dada, not the Supreme Being. So there was anti-Om only, and there was even court cases, because small children were there, little children were there. They put a claim, so many claims, you can say, in a negative way. You can read the whole book. If we are going to discuss, it will take more than an hour even from now. So we are not discussing, but in short, any transformation of change comes in the world, there was always opposition. As for example, Christ came, He gave a knowledge which is different than Jews. If you read the history of Christ, Lord Christ, 20 to 30, about 19 years, he was where nobody knows, but people say he was in Bharat only in those days. And somebody says, even if you go to the history, we have posted one film, you can say, God of Gods. They clearly indicate in that movie, even if you look on the Google, one of the, you can say, chairman of the International Rewriting of the World History, P.N. Oak is there. If you refer P.N. Oak only, he says Lord Christ has given a different tenet that was based on Krishnanity, which is converted to Christianity later on. And why he was hanged by even their people, Jewish people, because his principle, his tenet was quite different than what they were believing in those days. So any new thought comes, have always opposition. So same thing started here, and for 1 year there were so many court cases and so many upheavals. After 1 year, always you can say victory of truth. So they got the, you can say, everything in victory, and they started, you can say, yajna in a very good way. And now Supreme Court Father after 1 year told to move to Karachi, which was on the seashore, to have a better tapasya, big place, big city. So they moved to the, you can say, Karachi in 1936, where they have, you can say, rented 5 bungalows. Names are given on bungalows. Separate bungalows for everybody. For sisters are separate, for mothers separate, for, you can say, little children separate. And they made tapasya from 36 to 50. Godfather prepared the pillars of the future institution during this time. And now institution is being headed by them. In 1947, there was a partition between Bharat and Pakistan, India and Pakistan, but the Om only stayed there because there was no direction from the Supreme Godfather. So they continued. Meanwhile, what happened? All Sindhis moved to India, and they were not allowed to take a single thing from Pakistan to India, and there was a big bloodshed during partition. We all know what happened. If you don't know, put on the Google, you will find so many things. Meanwhile, all Sindhis moved in 1947 to the different parts of the country, that is of India, where they have their own business, and they stabilized within 1 to 2 years there, because they were, you can say, very, you can say, entrepreneur community, just like Gujarati, Punjabi, Sindhis. So they made, you can say, strong base in India. And now what they did, they invited home only because somebody's sister is there, somebody's mother is there, somebody's brother is there, somebody's father is there. All relatives of Sindhis are there in the home only. So they insisted to move home only from Karachi, now Karachi, to the India. So in 1950, Supreme Godfather given a direction that now move to India. So this lady, you can see her name was B.K. Brahma Kumari Manmohini. His brother was a great donor in the hospital in Mumbai. Now they have hospital in their names in this hospital. And he invited everybody, and he invited her, his sister particularly, to see different places for the home only. And she gone there. They have some places in Mumbai, Baroda, Ahmedabad, but there was no place where these 400 people can stay together. Initially, there were 300 people. When they moved to Karachi in 1936, approximately 100 people added by doing service through, you can say, sisters and brothers. What we are doing, like courses in those days, very primary courses, but everything was being done in those days through vision. So somebody advised them in 50 that better you go to Mount Habu and see there are different kotis of different kings. Because 1947 we got the independence, 1950 you can say Republican, and these people move in 50. So all the kings and queens from Gujarat and Rajasthan, they have their, you can say, good palaces, like things like kotis, where they are enjoying their summer during vacation time, because Mount Abu is on a high place, on a hill. It is a cool place as compared to the, you can say, grounds. So they gone there and they rented one koti of Bharata Raja, King Raja, who was a king of one of the king of Rajasthan, but now everything is democracy. So they were owning, so they rented one place, and whole monthly 400 people moved from Karachi to Okha Bandar, Okha port, which was very near to Karachi in the part of Gujarat, and they were allowed to shift everything. See, the car, even what they own, they are putting in the boat, in the ship. In 1947, nobody was allowed to take even a pin. Now they are allowed because Om Mandli has a very good impression on the Pakistani government, that is, you can say governors and all governments, because they were believing in Supreme Godfather, that is a point of light, just like Allah. So government officers will go and check everything. They will give a ration to them and tell them they are Allah Lord. They are the people of God. Very good impression. So they transferred everything from Karachi to Okha in Gujarat and then moved to Rajasthan. That is the part of the, you can say, Mount Abu. And now started, you can say, their own. So now Godfather changed the name of the Om Mandli from Om Mandli to Prajapita Brahma Kumari Ishwari Vishwavidyalaya. Name has been changed. University Vishwavidyalaya means they have branches all over the world. In 1950, not even single center was in India. And Godfather has given this name. See, the God is truth, proof of that thing. So now, what they did, now Supreme Godfather directed through Brahma that all the, you can say, children who got the knowledge and put in practice for 14 years, they should go to their relative's house who has invited them and share the knowledge and experience. They gone to various parts of India because all their families were established in India, and they share the knowledge. After 15 days, 1 month, they are going back. Then people told, your knowledge is good. Can you continue here daily? They asked Brahma, Miss Shiv Baba, what to do. And Shiv Baba told that if they wanted to continue, you can share the knowledge, but condition is that they should give all facilities, separate facilities for the class, for residence, everything, then you continue. And first center started in Delhi, Rajouri Garden. So now center has been established. How center is running? All Brahma Kumari centers are autonomous body. Brahma Kumari never gets any benefit from government grant. There is a strict direction from the Supreme Godfather from beginning that no donation should be accepted or grant should be accepted from the government, because we are eating, means food is coming from that money, or you can say wealth. Our, you can say, food should be pure. So those who put in practice only should contribute to the center. So all centers of Brahma Kumari are autonomous body, and everything is contributed by, you can say, brothers and sisters who are putting knowledge in their life. If you go to the any center, you cannot see just like what is happening in the temple. No, nothing is there putting a money, because it is a principle established by the Supreme Godfather from beginning. So autonomous body means we are collecting our fund through brothers and sisters in form of contribution, not in form of donation, because we are children of Supreme Godfather, and children cannot donate to the Father. They can contribute. So we call as a contribution. Here in Canada, we have a trust. Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual Organization. We cannot put university board here as per the rules and regulation of the land. So all Brahma Kumari center, they are following rules and regulation or laws of the concerned land where center is there. So we are recognized by CRA, Canada Revenue Agencies. Those who are putting the fund like us, who are the, you can say, regular students, they will get a receipt. We can contribute even in income tax also. But in the beginning, nobody is advised to give a single penny till they put something in practice. Because Baba always says, put in practice. So wealth is not important, because money is not important, because Godfather says, I have nobody. To whom you are giving the money? I have no feet. To whom you are bowing down your head. So Godfather says, make your life like a deity, like a worthy of worship. And then think about any other things. So no course fees, no you can say any contribution from anybody who are not a regular student. So this is the basic condition. So every center is an autonomous body. Suppose somebody is coming from India to here, this center, Toronto center will bear the expenditure. Somebody is going here to there, Toronto center will bear the expenditure. If the person who are householder, they go to Mount Abu, they will bear their own expenses. So autonomous, everything is being run by this way financially. How administration takes place? Administration, all the country, they have different centers. There is one country coordinator. Every center is a center coordinator. In small places, Scarborough like this, where there is a center is there, but they are not center. They are the classes because sisters are not living there permanently. Where the sisters live, it is called or known as a center. In India also same structure. In India, some you can say administration structure is slightly different than in foreign countries. In foreign countries, center coordinator, India also center coordinator. All country, this whole country, different center, there will be one country coordinator. There are different countries and one is there is you can say regional coordinator, which is who is a coordinator of South America, North American, Caribbean centers, all centers of BKs. And then all regional coordinators will have international headquarters in London, and international headquarters will report to the Mount Abu, who has a global headquarters. In India, all centers are there. Beneath the center, there is Kita Pathshalas. They are not continuously working. They are working like a class in foreign countries. Few hours in the morning or 1 hour in morning or 1 hour in evening according to the suitability of the students or children of Baba, and they report to the center which are on taluka place or in the big villages, and then all taluka places they have subzone at the district places, all subzone there is a zone at the state level, and all zones they are reporting to the global headquarters Mount Abu. So administration is run like this. If anybody is going to any place, they must have a email or a chit from the center that brother so and so or sister so and so coming to your center, please arrange for his residence and food. And they are arranging. Whoever is going, they are bearing their own expenses, and thus the administration is going on, finance is going on. Now, first center opened in Rajouri Garden. Now, gradually and slowly, center started to open in Bharat, in India. Now, we can see you can say they are moving from Okha Bandar, Okha port to the Mount Abu by train. So these photos are all black and white. In those days, that facility was available. And then they moved from there to Mount Abu. Now center is open. 1 center, 2 center, 3 center, 4 center like that. Meanwhile, there were about 300, you can say, children of Baba. Baba has taken the taste of these 300 children. There was nothing now in the Yajna or in the Vishwavidyalaya. So they were thinking what to do. So they put a proposal to Dada, because Brahma Baba was there, Dada was there, that we have sustained by Yajna, by home only, for 14 years, so we will go and earn the money for the Yajna. So Dada told no need, because it is being taken care by Supreme Godfather, he will take care of. But the intelligent people like us, they don't have trust or faith. So 1 gone, 2 gone, 3 gone, about 300 children of Baba left. And at that time, there was not much center, so they cannot be sustained with knowledge. About 100 students were there in different centers and some in Mount Abu. You can say whole institution proceeded further by opening different centers in Delhi, Lucknow, Calcutta, Mumbai, different places. In 1965, Mama, who was a Radhe, at the age of 45, she left the body. And charge was given to Manmohan, who taken, you can say, institution this. And some part of the charge was given to Dadi Prakash Mani, who is here. Now, Still, Dada is there. Dada left the body 18 January 69, and the institution outside charge was given to this lady, whose name is Dadi Prakashmani. And from 69 to 2007, she was the chief administrative head of the Brahma Kumaris after Dada. When Dada left, many people believed that now there will be partition of the institution. Because people were not able to see Godfather, Supreme Godfather, they are only seeing Dada. Now Supreme Godfather have changed the, you can say, medium. Now he is coming in the body of Dadi Guljar from 69. So whatever murlis, whatever classes we are, you can say, reading every day, Monday to Saturday, that is Sakar Murli, means when Brahma was there, Dada was there. Brahma was given a name to Dada, and Saraswati was given to a name to Mama, that is, you can say, Radhe. All 400 children of Baba were changed the name by going in trance region messengers, and they taken the name. All name was changed, just like, you can say, sannyasis changed their name. All were surrendered. In 51-52, when there was examination by Supreme Godfather, 300 people, you can say, gone. So Baba stopped the system of changing the name. Only we are putting a name Brahma Kumar or Kumari so and so. Name has been not changed now. So from 69 to onwards, now you can say in 1972, Godfather advised to be, you can say, go in foreign country. So Dadi Janki, this is Dadi Janki, who was in charge of the Brahma Kumaris from 2007 to 2020, sent to London, and she opened one center there, and all foreign service started from 72. Now in different centers in Canada, we opened the center in 1978 here in North America, and then slowly foreign students increased. In 1982, Supreme Godfather told that Brahma Kumaris should be a member of the United Nations organization. And Brahma Kumaris is a two-seat as a non-government organization NGO in from 1982, permanent 2 seats, and all the work of peace is being handled by Brahma Kumaris. In 1985, you can say they have a one headquarter in Mount Abu called as a Pandav Bhavan. Now students is increasing, so they taken many facilities around Pandav Bhavan, but still students were increasing, so they constructed one hall called Om Shanti Bhavan opposite to Pandav Bhavan. Still students has been increasing, so 1991-92 they have established another, you can say, part of the headquarter, that is called Gyan Sarovar in Mount Abu. The other name of the Gyan Sarovar is, you can say, Academy for Better World. Still it is there, and all the university level education, or you can say education, is established, you can say, participated through that facilities called Gyan Sarovar. In 1991-92, United Nations organization advised Brahma Kumaris to do something physical service, except, you can say, spiritual service. So we started in participation with, you can say, one hospital called Global Hospital and Research Centers. All, you can say, health facilities are being provided free of charge to the 50 villages of, you can say, tribal area around Mount Abu, free of charge by Brahma Kumaris and United Nations organization. And that facility is accepting the donation from outside too. What is that? That is Global Hospital and Research Centers. They are conducting various programs on the heart diseases, diabetes, so many things at very, very minimum level. For tribal, it is free. You can say whole institution proceed further. 1997, still they have no space, so they taken one big place in Abu Room, called as a, you can say, Shanti 1. About 35 hectares land is there, where we have constructed a hall of 30,000 capacity, and Godfather is still coming in that hall. 1997, 98, as per the direction of Godfather, we established 20 wings to do services of different classes of the society. As for example, admin wing, art and culture wing, business wing, IT wing, media wing, medical wing, politician wing, religion wing, blah, 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 to serve different segments of the society. Still Baba's children are increasing. So day by day, they are increasing the facility. Now they are constructing a hall having a capacity of 100,000 people. So now you can say you can see all the facilities in the world through different centers, and this was already website we have participated. And those who don't know about Brahma Kumaris, you can refer to others also with this website. You can even go through this website. Already we have shared the slide yesterday. So one slide covers two parts, one slide number 1 and 2. This is those who don't know much about Brahma Kumaris, or you know and you wanted to learn more. It is free of charge. Learn meditation online.org. There is web, you can say one org, another site for Raj Yoga meditation, Brahma Kumari site for Raj Yoga. Learn Raj Yoga meditation on Google Play. There is a one, you can say app is there, in PM TV and Awakening TV. If you wanted to get more information, you can go through this. So this is, you can say, our lesson is over here. Our course is also over. We will try to continue to read one Murli tomorrow for about 30-35 minutes, and then we will complete and conclude, so that you can say read by yourself if you don't have the time. If you wanted to join us, we are also reading everyday Murli in Hindi and English, both languages. And in main center, suppose you wanted to go, they are also reading the Murli in Tamil and you can say Spanish language also. So this is the things. If you have any question, now it is an open session and you can ask any question. You can say relating to today's lesson or previous lesson too. Acha. Om Shanti. I am a peaceful, powerful, pure soul.